Hello everybody, Larry Young here with another segment of OLaMan Living Life with Purity. And today I want to talk about something I've talked about a lot before, but today I want to just expressly deal with why words matter and why it's important to realize what the words are you use and you hear and how they affect you and how they form who you are. Because your perspective on the world is not necessarily the truth every time. It's more so what your formation has brought you to and how you look at the world. So many times we are formed in a way that excludes certain areas of information or certain influences that we want to deny, either because we don't have experience with them, we haven't been introduced to these things, or we've found them to be objectionable just on the face of things. And so there's a definite difference there. One of them is kind of a survival type response, and the other one is more of a fear-based one. You're afraid to either learn or to open yourself to a potential vulnerability. And these are all just the way we're designed. That's how our cultures are come together. That's why you have differences in cultural thinking and practices and stuff like that. It's all born out of practice. Now, words matter so much because let's start at the very beginning. Say there's a baby in the home, a small child. This small child's view of the world is going to come from the words and the patterns and the influences that its parents and its caretakers show them and talk with them, the words they kind of use. As parents, and I've not been a parent, but I've talked with a lot of them, they use the tactics that their parents gave to them, and they thought that these things work. Well, sometimes in today's world it's not working because we don't have the influence of maybe two parents in the home, and so the babies and the children are getting less influences with their language in the home because only one person's talking. And maybe when this one person is under a lot of pressures and things like this in a single parent home, or even in a two-parent home, they're facing pressures too. But a lot of times the children are getting washed over with all this rhetoric that comes out of the parents and the caregivers about their frustrations in life. So you got to be careful about this. If you say that I hate something, or I hate that guy, or I hate when this happens, or I hate, don't let that word into the home. That's a terrible word to have as an influential building block in a child or anybody. At any age, this can all happen. You can be washed in your brain quite easily with a steady diet of a certain pattern. So words matter an awful lot. And right now in the media, in our discussions with world topics right now, people have hijacked words and their meanings. And one of these words as of late is the word genocide. Now, people are using this phrase genocide very, very cavalierly. They're trying to reflect that the policing and the shutting down and trying to take out Hamas, a definite terrorist organization, and to free up the Palestinian people that's going on. The Palestinians are not bad people, but they've done something bad by electing Hamas to rule for them, and Hamas has been putting these people down in their own communities and suppressing them and taking the money that was supposed to be used for the good of these people and their survival and to lift these people up. And they decided to go ahead and build infrastructure to create and conduct war. If anyone's ever been to Tel Aviv and that area, wonderful beach, wonderful set of beaches, and a beautiful setting there for a water side resort. Well, the same beach goes up to the Gaza Strip. The same beach, same sand, same water, same everything, just a different boundary. But there's no beach in Gaza. They haven't used this natural asset to any value. It's just nothing there. There's no room for economic growth. There's no way to help uplift these people up. They're suppressing their assets. Well, now people in the media and protesters want to call Israel's defense of itself and the way they're going about it to be genocide. You want to see genocide? Let's go take a look at Sudan. Let's go take a look at Nigeria. Let's go see where actual cleansing and genocide is actually going on in the world. Now, why isn't anybody talking about it? Why isn't anybody talking about it? Because it's not sexy, because they're black on black and nobody cares. Because it's not sexy, it doesn't grab headlines, and it's very uncomfortable for people to talk about. It doesn't have this definite juxtaposition of evil Israel against, peace-seeking Palestinians. That's never been the case. Thousands and thousands of years has never been the case. So, and there's a reason why the rest of the Arab community doesn't want to take these people in, because they know that they're messed up in their thinking because the words that have been used on them for all of their lives, going back to 2005, 2006, when Israel completely pulled out of Palestinian areas and turned it all over. The pudding has been baked by these Hamas and other angry people over there. Rather than seeking peace and building their people up, they've tried to tribalize them even more and make them angry and make them combatants. They're ready to let these people die to make their point. They don't care about them. And this is not a good thing to even be thinking about, but it's something we have to deal with. This is a reality that's going on. Now, what's going on in Sudan and Nigeria? Probably one of the largest wholesale killings of Christians going on the face of the earth right now. Probably even more so than what the Muslims did against Christians in like the year 900, 1000. It was terrible. It was just something that had never been seen before, quite at the scale it was done. And right now it's going on very, very quietly, and you see Christians being slaughtered, whole villages at a time, just cleaning them out. They'll clean out one village, and then a few weeks later they'll go and they'll take out another village, take all their assets, kill all the people, leave them there to rot for the birds to eat. This is going on. But when they want to sit there and take a word like genocide and trivialize it for the sake of a chant or a cheer and a protest, along with things like recently, what was it? Death to America. I saw somebody trying to support for the Palestinian cause saying, well, that death to America, that's not what it sounds like. That's not really what we're saying. We're saying down with America. Well, that's not what they're saying at all. They're saying death to America. And they know what they're saying, and they know why they're saying it. So this might play over in a Middle Eastern country or anywhere else abroad, but when you bring that onto this shore in this country, that to me seems like an act of insurrection and calling for a complete overthrow. So where are the arrests? Where's the talking points on these things? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But as far as the world goes and our whole society goes, what we have to do is we have to work on the individual building blocks. And we are the individual building blocks. Ourselves, our families, our communities, we have to work on making sure that those segments that we practice and we work in are strong and relatable, and everyone is on the same page as what the words mean. As a little exercise I'd like for people to think about doing is I'd like you to put a little deal together here, and I want you to put all the bad and the good. Do like this. Have bad things that are said during the day, or you hear as influence, people saying, I hate this, I hate that, or if you said it, And then over here, put on the good things that you hear where somebody says, oh, you've done such a beautiful job with your decorations in the home or whatever. I mean, something just that's positive and is building, these types of things. So try to keep a score on this. And then what I want you to do is reflect back on this. This can also be done. I had to do this in college when I was trying to audit news programs. We would have to do a diary of how many times a word was said during a 30-minute broadcast. And we did this on CNN because CNN was out at that time, I believe. And we had to note how many times positive things and negative things were said in that newscast. And this is kind of the same thing you can do here with a newscast to see how the influences are. And I think it'll be pretty instructive to you. So now if this is happening in your own day and you're monitoring what you are saying, all these bad things, so I hate this or I hate that or whatever, or you hear somebody else saying something, and then the good things over here, what I want you to do is to reflect on this later on in the day as you're trying to analyze your day, or the next day going back and seeing how you did. This line in the middle here is very, very important, okay, because this is the line that separates these two thinking centers. And so what I want you to do is to think about, as you're reflecting on this, to use this as a line of forgiveness. You forgive everything about this over here, and you concentrate on this over here. Now, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. But forgiving just means you're going to let that all go, and you're not going to forget because you're going to try not to do it more in the future. It's kind of like a small confessional situation for our Protestant friends or folks who don't use the confessional. But this is a way you can go about self-analysis and self-reflection on these things and try to keep a scorecard. I think you're going to be really surprised, even if you noted like dinner conversations with the family, how many times they talk about things that are exciting to them and are inspiring them to do great things either today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now that the kids are planning what their life is going to be. We want to have more things that are aspirational in their word selections. Get rid of the things that are hate-filled or hate-inspired or negative in their influence. What that does to you in the short term and the long term is it changes your focus. A lot of people ask me what a telos is. I always talk about your telos. Well, telos is an old Greek word that just means like a distant point, and that you want to get to. It's where the word telescope comes from. So, but a telos is an object or an undefined place or goal that you want to get to. But it can always be changing in your aspiration throughout the day because more information, good side may come in that's going to say, that telos is good, but it needs to be enlarged or it needs to be reduced down a little bit because facts have come into the record here, and I want to change that a little bit. Be open to it. Be open to change. Change comes from reflection and finding out that maybe this wasn't a good idea to do it this way. Maybe we're going to do it that way. Design happens like that all the time. A lot of times one of the husbands or wives will come home with a fabric selection or something like that, or paint color selections, and show it to their spouse and say, honey, I love this. And they just look at it and go, oh, no, it looks like pea soup. I can't have that in my house. Those types of things. So what happens then when somebody rejects it, then they go back, they get a different paint color, and everyone's happy. Then you end up with the sky blue. But concentrate on the words. Think about how words matter, because this is going to be very, very important as we go through establishing logic for our lives in trying to move forward with practical and positive solutions to things that are going on in our world around us. This is just a simple little spit take I wanted to throw out there while the bird wasn't jamming the window anymore. If anyone was listening at the beginning of this, the windows were being attacked, and those birds are insistent on trying to disrupt things in here. So I'm hoping that it will abate here, and I won't have problems here going forward here with it. So, but anyway, so much for my local problems here. I'll try to put that on the bad side, and I'll try to forgive it and forget it. We'll just concentrate on the good things. So, hey, everybody, I love you. We're going to get through this. I'll be back.